We're only in April and we got some trades and updates, especially for teams that are dying to stay in the playoff race.
You play ball like a girl!
Yeah, this is baseball. You gotta stop thinking.
Sorry, everybody. It's been about a week since we posted a full real video. Real life happens first, and it's just been busy. Ghost is going to try to do the best he can to try to keep up with things. Today, we're going to give a rundown as there was a lot of action going on. First, we're going to start out with some trades. Going to Chicago, Jordan Rich, and/or a player to be named later. The White Sox will receive from the Blue Jays Jordan Rich and potentially a player to be named later or just cash considerations. Small trade, but let's talk about Lenyn Sosa. Sosa provided some good long ball action last season, launching out 22 long balls. But that's just about all he can do. He has a low walk rate, and he does not get on base that very much. Even though from 2025, yes, he did launch out 22 long balls, and he had an impressive 75 RBIs. But looking underlying in the metrics, batting average was okay, 263, but his on-base percentage is horrid. Supporting last season in over 500 at-bats, he had a 293 on-base percentage. This season, he's even starting out any worse. He's only got a 212 batting average with an on-base percentage of a 212. Slugging percentage is an unimpressive 303. Now, Sosa doesn't provide much in the way of defense, but one of his key contributing components that make him worthy on the team is not just his impressive 22 long balls last season, but is the fact that he's played all four infield corner positions. Sosa coming into this season has 2 MLB seasons underneath his belt, meaning the Jays, if they were to tap into something for him, find some great potential that's underneath the roof, they can have him controlled through 2029, which to me, this is a low risk, potentially could be high risk reward. Now the question is, why did the Jays decide to go for this trade in the middle of April? Well, they've been hit hard with the injury bug. From pitching to as well as their offense, Andriano Kirk went down, Addison Barger's down, Jorge Springer's down, or George Springer, one of the two. And Anthony Santander, wow, I cannot pronounce tonight. I usually can't anyway. But anyway, he's going to be out for several months too. The Jays came into this season with the taste of the World Series last year. And they went out and they spent some big dollars to shore up the areas that were needed to be competitive to make it back into the World Series and hopefully win a World Series. But the way this season's going so far, with the injury bug, it's going to be hard to see that nor forecast it. The good thing is for the Jays, yeah, they're plagued by the injury bug, as we just mentioned. But they're only 2 games out of first place. Now, the unfortunate news, they are sitting tied in last place with my team, the Boston Red Sox. There's no denying that the AL East is going to be a tight horse race this year. We see it now. The Orioles just took over first place. The Yankees are sitting in second. Tampa Bay, which was expected to be in last place, is sitting in third. And your 2 promised teams, which is the Boston Red Sox and as well as the Toronto Blue Jays, are sitting at the bottom of the bunch. Now, the Red Sox are starting to get a little bit hotter. We'll see how long that lasts. And the Blue Jays, in their last 10, they were only 2-8. So for now, the Jays, they're just trying to find assurance. This trade was not, I would suspect, is not that impactful, but it gives them a nice warm body. At the time of need, he's demonstrated that he's got the power stroke, and Sosa's the one that we're talking about. And the Jays still has players like Vlad, Ernie Clement, Kazuma Okamoto. I think I might have got that one right. And of course, Andre Jimenez. So their infield is looking okay. But if they were to get hit with another injury, it's definitely not going to be looking okay. Not going to put the panic mode on the Blue Jays as of yet. But with Bieber going down, he's now listed on the 60-day IL. And Kirk being down. And Anthony Santander. I think I got it. Santander. Anyway, with him going to be removed from the lineup for several months, that's a lot of offense that they're going to miss out on. And it's going to put a lot of weight to players like Vladdy Jr. So this trade makes sense, but we will see in the long haul if it's going to be beneficial to them. Now let's move on to the Baltimore Orioles. Ryan Mountcastle just been moved to the 60-day IL. They just put themselves in first place over the New York Yankees. So they made a move. They called the Reds. And Christian Encarnacion-Strand, butchered that name. They acquired him for his services. Strand, a few years ago, was an exciting prospect of the Reds organization. He tore it up in the minor leagues, and he had one hell of an impressive debut for the Reds. But since then, it just hasn't worked out. 2023, that's where his impressive debut came out. He launched out 13 long balls, 37 RBIs, batting line of 270, and his on-base percentage was a 328 and only 222 at-bats, which at that point, the Reds were like, we got something special here. But since then, he struggled with on-base percentage, he struggled with the batting average, and as well as the production output of his offense. In this season, in AAA, yeah, it's a small sample size, but he's even showing struggles with his on-base percentage, his batting average, and just about flatline all across the board when it comes to his offensive output. What does this mean? Will this trade mean that a change of scenery may potentially bring him back to 2023? Could be. But to be honest, there's definitely something else that's going on underneath the hood, because even in the minors since 2023, he has not been able to replicate any of those numbers that he showed prior to that. And of course, what he did on his original major league call-up. These trades, they're not impactful. They are some names that we know about. Sosa, Strand. Could they be an impact on their new teams? Potentially. It is only April. This tells me that these teams are suffering and they needed to make a move. Not a big move, but a warm body move that has some type of impact or potential impact. And if it doesn't work out, well, those GMs, they just kind of cross it out and say, we tried. And they look at plan B. What are those plan Bs going to be? Well, as we get further into the season, trade deadline, we shall see. I hope everybody has a great afternoon. This is Ghost with Baseball. And let me know in the comments below if you are part of one of these teams as a fan. What do you feel about these trades? Or do you think your team should react more aggressively and go out and try to grab something now to keep them from following any further in the playoff race? Yes, I'm talking about the Blue Jays. Baltimore Orioles, they suffered their own side of injuries, but they're holding on to first place for right now. Have a good day, everybody. Bye-bye.